see things happening on Twitch.
Yep, looks like we're good.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, there it is.
What's that?
It just kept playing Nintendo Pals.
Oh, yeah, it did it cut over eventually?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we're good. All right. We're good there. You guys ready?
Yep.
Marty, you good?
Yeah, man.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 382, recorded on June 30th, 2022. On tonight's episode, we break down and discuss our thoughts on the recent Nintendo Partner Showcase, why it was great for some and maybe not for some others. Jesse, you know what to do.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Marty. I'm back, and this is Nintendo Dads, episode 382. It's June 30th, and we're coming in hot on the heels of Nintendo's third-party mini direct that some of us enjoyed, and well, some of us didn't. But joining us on the show tonight are our usual cast of characters. Mine is Justin, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, as well as your questions, comments, and everything you send over, as well as all the other good stuff you are looking forward to on a normal episode of Nintendo Dads. Joining me tonight, Tim Off. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm actually feeling really good after playing a certain game and getting pretty far in it. So we'll talk about that later and what we've been playing, but I'm feeling good. How you doing, Marty?
I am, actually doing pretty good. It's been a sprint, a marathon of busyness with work, but otherwise things are good. I've had some downtime to play some games, which I haven't been on the show in a while, so it's like my list of games I've been playing is ginormous, and I can't wait to talk about them all. I'm sure there's some games you've already talked about, but
you're going to get your own segment on that.
Really enjoying it. And speaking of getting our own segment, Jesse Waldack, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Was that him glitching or was that me glitching? I just heard a glitch.
No glitching.
Well, maybe it was
here.
just me. I don't know. Anyway, I'm doing good. It's been, again, pretty busy week at work. So tomorrow should be, a little bit smoother. And then I'm taking a holiday Monday. It's the 4th of July. So I'll be able to try to hopefully finish up the game that I started the other day.
Nice.
Along with getting further in with another project that I started that's not gaming related. And I'll talk about that later.
Sounds good. Well, we got a ton to we really do have a ton to talk about tonight with everything revealed in the third-party partner direct, as well as some other last-minute headlines that popped up right before recording time tonight. So let's dive straight into the news, shall we? And of course, our news is brought to us each and every week by you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, where for as little as $1 a month, you can jump in and be a part of our community. $5 gets you access to the whole schwackload of sub channels over there, as well as monthly mayhem and all kinds of other shenanigans going on. $10 gets you pre and post show audio, as well as an exclusive quarterly art card. And $30 gets you in the Patreon producer slot, puts you in the seat on the show. You get to be in the room, well, the virtual Zoom room, just rhymed. I don't know where it happened. And so you get to be on the show, bring your own topic, hang out with us. Y'all, things, I love our Discord community. Great things going on over there. People tell us all the time how it's one of their favorite places to hang out on the internet. And that, I'm proud of that. So for as little as $1 a month, head on over right now. Go, if you're not a patron, go to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads and join up. I promise you won't regret it. If you're into Discord, into talking with the community, anything like that, we want you in there.
Lots
Hey, guys.
of activities there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Third strongest mole asks, Schwackload, how many buttons is that? And I answered 3.
Yeah, it's 3. It's about 3 buttons. Yeah. So, hey, right before we came on air tonight, Nintendo tweeted like they do. And I always look forward to like the 8 p.m. Central Time tweets because I know that means something has just come out or something has dropped. And
that
tonight
normally means it messes up my show prep, but I started show prep late, so it was fine.
Yeah, totally fine. It's just on fire, right? 4 more Sega Genesis games have been added to the NSO Expansion Pack as of tonight. The cult classic Comic Zone, Target Earth, Zero Wing, and Mega Man The Wily Wars is now available for the Sega Genesis expansion pack. Guys, if you don't know, Wily Wars is the first 3 Mega Man games remastered for Sega Genesis. So 16-bit graphics, sound upgrades. They're also hard as balls because they went with like the Japanese difficulty, the standard. And then if you beat all 3, you get to go to Wily Tower, fight new bosses, see new things, which I've never done. So I'm looking forward to this. First time I ever was able to really play it was on the Sega Genesis Mini when it came out. But, say the Genesis Mini came with like a 3-foot cord for the controller. It was even worse than the NES Mini.
That's like the Famicom, the length of the control of the cable on the Famicom.
Yeah,
the controller's wired in, and it's about 1 meter long.
Yeah, that says set me on your shelf and never play me. So
well,
I'm excited.
It's supposed to be set me on your table.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have this and to have these games. Comic Zone's a hidden gem if you've never played it. I don't know much about Zero Wing. It didn't have any box art when it came up.
You know what Zero Wing's known for.
Is this all your base or belong to us?
Yes.
Yes.
Which
my gosh.
That meme's going to come back.
Yes, I cannot wait.
Wait, what?
All your bases belong to us?
Do you not know, Tim? Do you not know all your base? Someone set us up the bomb.
That was like the first internet meme before memes were memes.
Okay.
Like 2000.
It comes from this game.
Okay.
Was it never released in America? Is that why it doesn't have box art?
Possibly.
Somebody's going to correct us. Somebody's going to tell us in the chat why Zero Wing doesn't have box art. But I need to go finally experience the meme for myself. But you can go download these right now. And strangely enough, in the Sega Genesis app, still no Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I don't get it
because it's on. Yeah.
Well, they want you to play the Sonic Origins version for $45.
Okay.
Right?
Yes,
Zero Wing released in Japan May of 91, released in Europe sometime in 91. The date isn't specified, and that's it. North America has never had this game released.
No American, but here's what I don't understand. Why does Wily Wars have box art if it never was released in North America? Because I don't think it was. I really believe that Wily Wars was only for like Sega's very brief foray into like dial-up download internet service where you could download games.
Yeah, it was called Rockman Mega World in Japan, and then Mega Man The Wily Wars in Europe, and it did not have a U.S. release.
I was going to say, I did the limited run games edition of this where you could actually get it on the Sega cart. That was like translucent blue. And I got that in. It's awesome. It's an awesome package, but
nice.
I'm really glad this is on NSO. Mainly because I very briefly experienced these games. So I'm looking forward to digging into that this week. Speaking of digging in, let's head straight into this Nintendo Direct Mini partner showcase that showed up this week on Tuesday. It was roughly 25 minutes, and Nintendo used that time to show off over 25 games, which is about a game a minute, which is pretty good considering the fact that some games got more than a minute and some were just kind of in sizzle reel.
Right.
We did see some games we've already seen, which I kind of thought was a weird choice. especially when one of those games, Monster Hunter Rise, got its own presentation not long ago.
Yeah, I was upset that they opened with that.
I didn't understand that at all. And then they also made a really odd choice of throwing in Fire Emblem Three Hopes toward the end.
I'm not surprised there. It was part of the montage, so
but it's not a third-party game. It's a first-party game. So you can argue semantics, and it is a third-party game, but
a lot of people are hoping for Bayonetta, and kind of the same thing there. It's not Nintendo developed, it isn't Nintendo published, but they were still hoping for it. It's Three Hopes was not Nintendo developed.
Yeah. So let's take a quick breakdown here and just kind of I think it might be good to just go through here. So Monster Hunter Rise opened the show. No surprise there, pretty much. I don't think it's their next big thing. June 30th, which is today. Brand new update for that. And they detailed the first of 4 updates, which
at least 4.
Yeah. So there's this big one, and then there's going to be a free update in August, another 3 update in the fall, another free update in the winter, and additional updates coming 2023 with a demo for Sunbreak available now. Is it fair to say at this point that Monster Hunter Rise has made Capcom a butt ton of money on Switch?
I would think so. I think this is the most sold Monster Hunter game.
Probably even a schwack load.
Yeah. It may be 3 butt tons.
Exactly.
Yeah. Here's the thing. If you're a Monster Hunter fan, I can see how this would be really exciting for you, because it's almost like getting a whole other game, right? But I just don't get the Monster Hunter thing. I don't. I've tried it. I didn't enjoy it. And so this did nothing for me. And it also, I'm like, Jesse, why waste 5 minutes of the direct on this when it's had its own presentation?
Exactly.
Can I ask this? Did either of you watch the Monster Hunter Direct when it came out?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any new information given during this time?
No.
Okay. Then it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, pretty much everything they talked about here, they talked about during the Capcom event.
Yeah. So another thing too that I want to mention is that when they started this Direct, they said, we're happy to bring you information about titles launching this year on Nintendo Switch, and then proceeded with the very next game, or like 3 games in, to go, oh yeah, this is 2023. And then the next one, oh yeah, this one's 2023. And then the next game, this one's 2023.
2023.
I don't understand. Why do they do that? They just very explicitly said this is for games coming out this year.
Released within the next 12 months. That's what Xbox said. That would that would be more accurate. Hopefully, it's still to be determined. But at least, they said if they said this year, it is weird that they mentioned all these 2023s.
Yeah,
that was totally weird.
Do we get in the sense that maybe this was thrown together?
No,
I don't think so. Yeah, no. In whole, I think this is one of, if not the best partner directs that they put on. Earlier ones, I think, were pretty much garbage. But I know that you disagree with me, but this one I liked.
Yeah. Whereas I will say that this next game,
the previous event that they did, I liked 0 games. But here,
the indie.
Yeah. But here there are games that
that's fair.
In.
The next game I was kind of interested in, Nier Automata, was revealed for Nintendo Switch. It is the end of the Yorha edition. It's coming October 6th, and a pre-order is available right now. I will say that this game is available on the PS4 if you have one of those for half the price that it's going to be sold for on Nintendo Switch. With really the only difference that I can see being something that they mentioned during the Direct, which was that there will be Nintendo Switch exclusive costumes for the characters. But why did we get this full on in a cart, and Kingdom Hearts had to be a cloud version?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
And do you think that there is a point coming down the line before October 6th where this is going to be revealed as a cloud version?
I don't think so. I think they would have said it if it was. It probably has to do with how much money the publisher in Kingdom Hearts case. Is it Nintendo or was it Square? I
think it was Square.
Nintendo does publish in North America a lot of Square's games. I'll see if I can double check that.
Yeah, see if they're publishing Nier Automata, because it looked great. If that's the footage that we're seeing, but I'm gonna go be fully 110% honest on here.
Okay. Square published the Kingdom Hearts games.
Okay. Full disclosure here on this. That trailer made me interested in Nier Automata for the first time, and I'm gonna go buy it on PS4.
That's fair.
Because
and Square Enix is also publishing.
But it's half the price and it's going to look better.
But keep in mind, though, Marty, not everybody has multiple systems like some of us. So
no, I understand
a lot of Nintendo owners.
It's a big deal for Nintendo owners.
System. So they're going to have the opportunity to play a game they won't be able to get.
And here's the deal. I'm going to totally flip flop on that opinion in the last games that were shown in this direct. Okay. Like those are games I wanted on Switch that I wanted to be able to take portable. This one wasn't even on my radar, so I'll probably just grab it and play it at home.
Yep.
Up next was Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. This is coming from Annapurna in 2023. Looks like a kind of an isometric top-down 2.5D puzzle box type detective game.
Noir-ish detective game.
Yeah. Here's the deal.
It's intriguing.
I'm like, there are several themes of games like in movies that I just do not really like. Noir detective, like detective of any kind is like, I don't really care about. Westerns is another one, and pirates. I don't care about anything in any of those eras. But
you would have been miserable in the 18th century.
I know. I'm born in the right. Like some people are like, "Oh, I was born in the wrong century." Nope, not me. Give me air conditioning, electricity, and video games. All right, great. But what I was going to say is, this looks intriguing to me for some reason.
Yeah, it does. It's very intriguing.
I'm going to be interested to see more about it. I'm sure we'll hear about it again. And we've got like a year, I guess, unless it's like an early 2023 title. But also announced for 2023 during that time was Super Bomberman R2, which is a sequel to Super Bomberman. Looks like just kind of more of the same, except for the 15-player castle mode, where 14 Bombermen try to destroy one Bomberman who's throwing like enemies and traps at them. And I guess they're like, the way the stage looked, it looked like they were progressing towards something.
They were trying to collect treasures or something, and then the one person had to protect their treasures or something.
It also looked like they possibly could kill each other too.
Yes.
So I'm not very like this one. I'm not very excited about.
It wouldn't be a Bomberman game if there wasn't friendly fire.
Right. The Super Bomberman R, was one of those early Switch titles, and it was okay. It wasn't great.
It got its name for two reasons. One, Switch launch title. Two, Konami remembered that they can make things other than pachinko machines.
Well, that's true. And so it's can we switch this out for like a new Castlevania game or something, like a new 2D Castlevania game that's not a Metroidvania?
Sorry, I was distracted. Are you bashing on the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection?
No, I was saying
we're still picking on Konami for
what I was saying was Super Bomberman R2, just like it's there. Like it didn't look that exciting. However, I will not bash on Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which is coming in 2023. 10 Battle Network games originally on the GBA. They're digitally available in 2 separate volumes, or you can buy them all on one cart if you do it physically. And Mecha Dragon 101 asks us this is a great question. He says, I'm so excited for Mega Man Battle Network collection. Did you dads play any of these games, and are you planning on getting the collection? Talk about it on the podcast if you can. Tim, Jesse, did either of you guys ever play any Battle Network games?
I have not played any of these.
I tried playing one back, when it was relatively newer. Before I played a Fire Emblem game, so this is before I'm like, I don't think I like strategy games, and I didn't like this one.
I like strategy
for the same reasons why I don't like Fire Emblem games. It's just at the time I didn't put two and two together yet.
Gotcha. I like strategy, but not so much too many, like the tactic side. It's got to be something different about the tactic side for me to jump into it. And
so I just wanted to list the games that are coming with this. So
I watched the cartoon that the series was based off of, but I didn't play the games.
I've never seen the cartoon. Mega Man Battle Network 1, 2, or 1 and 2, then Battle Network 3, Blue and White, Battle Network 4, Red Sun and Blue Moon, Battle Network 5, Team Proto Man and Team Colonel, and then 6, Cybeast Graygar and Cybeast Falzar. Okay. I liked these games. Like I played Battle Network 1. The only problem that I had with it back in the day was that I got to a point in the game where it felt like all I was doing was backtracking, and it was going through these really extensive areas, and I just got tired of it. I was like, I'm done. I'm out. But this is Mega Man. I'm probably going to play it again. I'm definitely going to buy it. I don't think it's fair. Hear me on this. I don't think it's fair to say this is 10 games in the collection. This is 6 games and 4 variants.
Yeah, that's like calling Pokemon Scarlet and Violet 2 games.
And this is disappointing to me because there was a Battle Network game that came out on the GameCube that was a 2D like Mega Man style game set in the Battle Network universe. And so I don't understand why it's not on here, but it does say all 10 mainline games of the Mega Man Battle Network. This kind of goes back to the whole thing of like, I don't understand why we still need 2 Pokemon versions. I don't understand why there were ever 2 versions of a Mega Man RPG. I don't get it.
Infrendo asks, when are we getting a Mighty Number 9 remake? The answer is as soon as the 3DS version comes out.
Y'all, wow, that's
I think I kickstarted
that. I wasn't expecting Mighty Number 9 question. That caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, so to answer Mecha's question, I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be good to play those games again. Although I did see someone tweet, Capcom is competing with other companies for the worst like pixel smoothing engine in a game, and it did look terrible.
I do not. I've never liked that type of filter. Like I first saw it back on like in NES emulators. I'm like, don't do this. It looks like
I've been going back and switching like all of my retro games when I play them to the CRT filter.
Yeah, either Pixel Perfect or CRT are the 2 modes I use.
Because there's a Twitter account that I've been following called, and I want to say it's like Pixel Art is Beautiful or something like that, where it shows the difference like between like a pixel like portrait or sprite or something on smooth, like not smoothed out, but like in HD, and then like with the CRT. And like it talks about, a lot of times it's talking about how like certain colors were applied at different times to like give it depth on the CRT, so it actually looks better there.
Yeah.
And when I realized that, I was like, yeah, I'm going back, switch it all back.
Like people gave the Zelda Skyward Sword a hard time because of its art style, but it was designed for CRTs where it looks gorgeous.
Yeah. It almost has that like a watercolor-esque look on that. I wish you could do that. I don't know. Moving on, PacMan World Repack, which is a remake of the 1999 PacMan World game, released on the PlayStation's coming August 26th.
Yeah, a game no one asked for.
Yeah, this I was not expecting that at all. And then two games that look completely different, but both of them artistically like had me riveted. Was Blanc and Return to Monkey Island. Now Blanc looks incredible. Tim, I think you talked about this, about how much you were impressed with the look of Blanc. For those who haven't seen it, what is that game for those who haven't seen clips yet?
It's basically a deer and a wolf who have
Fox.
to. I thought it was a wolf, baby wolf.
I thought it was a fox.
Wolf cub.
Yeah, they're both children of whatever species they are.
They're helping each other out. It's a co-op game actually, and this is something I'm looking forward to trying to play with Sam because we enjoyed It Takes Two and beat that together. So this one is a co-op game where you basically solve puzzles together because of the different aspects of each character, what their capabilities are, and it's a non-text story, whatever you want to call that. It's a visual story told by basically the environment and your actions. So and the art is mainly black and white. Because it looks like it's in a wintry scene, so it looks pretty cool. There's some color bits in it, probably to highlight things, but it's mainly black and white.
Yeah, it just looks gorgeous.
So I showed her the trailer to it, and she never did respond to me. but I tried to
add it to her wish list.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game. Unfortunately early next year. I mean, we're going to have plenty probably to play between now and then. And then Return to Monkey Island. Jesse, I wanted to hit you up about this one. Yeah, because this seems like it's right up your alley. And it also,
I have never played a Monkey Island game.
Then this totally blows up what I was going to ask, and that is this a completely new game?
I was under the impression this was a remake of an older one, but I could be wrong.
I thought it was a new game.
I don't know. I don't know what the old games were.
Yeah, because someone
in the chat can.
Monkey Island 2, and then I thought Return to Monkey Island was a. I thought it was a new game. It is for me anyway, so I never played the other ones either. So
I'm gonna bring up something here that makes me mad about this game. According to Polygon, Ron Gilbert, who is the creator of the Monkey Island series, will no longer be talking about or showing his upcoming game, Return to Monkey Island, after the Nintendo Direct, because he has been subjected to a host of abusive comments from fans about the game's new art style. Oh. So starting with Gilbert's blog, he's shutting down.
Are they really fans though?
Completely. And it says, but that's not all. Gilbert also says he's done posting about Return to Monkey Island at all. After defending the game and the team on his blog, he ended with, "The joy of sharing has been driven from me. If you are one of these people, go touch grass and get a life." Oh my gosh.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This game looks like a living cartoon. It looked like something brought to life out of the head of who's the guy who runs Double Fine Studios? Tim
Schafer?
Tim Schafer. Yeah, these are probably the same people who every year are oohing and ahhing over the graphics of Call of Duty. Oh, look at the upgrades on the guns. It looks so realistic. God, get a life. And just let people have artistic expression. It really pains me when people who are creative and who have vision for things can't share that because of a bunch of dude bros on the internet who think it's cool to crap all over something. Right. And if you don't like that, hey, guess what? You don't have to listen to our show and you don't have to be a patron either. So there you go. There's your PSA.
At least he didn't completely take his ball and go home like the guy who made Fez did.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But what's to say he won't?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely.
What's to say he won't? And I'm
It's
looking
sad.
forward to this
It's
game
sad,
because
for sure.
I fell in love with point and click games because of Maniac Mansion on the NES. And
I remember playing that game and I had no idea what it was.
I had no idea what I was doing, but it was so much fun trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I remember my friend Trey and I set up, and we would sit up and like, oh, what if we go here? What if we take this person here and do this? And little by little, piecing it together and figuring it out. It's a great experience.
I like the King's Quest games, and I played a few Police Quest games, but never played. I don't think I've ever played a LucasArts game.
Well, I don't know. Y'all, sorry. That just burns me up. But let people live their life, and I don't know. I'm just now I'm all flustered.
You're on the edge, Marty. Come down.
If you don't like it, don't buy it and shut up. Let those of us who want to play it play.
Yes. Yes.
Not every game is for you.
Thank you.
That is correct.
Let the people who do enjoy it. Don't make people ashamed or don't make them feel bad about the things they create. Thank you. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about this next, because this next game is huge. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. We'd heard nothing about it in months, but they dropped the info bomb during the middle of this direct, October 20th. Pre-orders live right now with 2 editions. The regular edition.
Before they leaked the release date on their own website.
Well, that's true. That's true. Thanks. Yeah,
I'm
glad you mentioned that.
It wouldn't be a Mario and Rabbids game if there wasn't a leak involved.
Wouldn't be a Mario and Rabbids game if it wasn't for the Ubisoft leak, right? The gold edition will be available day and date. It'll be $30 more. It includes 3 DLC packs, as well as exclusive weapon skins. And they did show off a little bit of this game and highlighting the combat again, and then promised a showcase the next day with David Soliani. That has also happened. I did not get to watch that, unfortunately, because my week's been pretty busy, but I know that they showed off a little bit more about the world, including the fact that the levels or the worlds that you're in are not so linear anymore. It's not point A to point B. Well, you go here, you go through a pipe, and then there's a bunch of enemies you fight, and then you get to the next part, and on. It's actually just like one big map, and you can go and do whatever. There's going to be side quests. There's going to be extra objectives and things like that. It just looks like a wonderful package, and I can't wait until October 20th to play this game. I so enjoyed the first.
Looking forward
What'd you guys think?
Too. And then there's another game coming like literally the next day, but we'll talk about that.
Right. Yeah, right. It's like, it is literally the next day. But
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird release date. And you'll know why here in a minute if you haven't watched it direct. Follow that up with Little Noah Scion of Paradise. Looks like a mobile game. It looks like a mobile gacha game. It was available day and date with the direct. Did anybody pick this one up?
No,
I did not.
No, me neither. Railgrade was shown off, which is a train and rail building simulator. That is coming out fall 2020. RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, is coming out August 18th. The pre-orders are available right now.
I'm excited for that one for sure.
Okay, Tim, let's talk about this, because this reminded me a lot of Hiroshi and Takashi that came out about a year ago, where you programmed your own RPG for your sick brother. But this one looks like a step up from that. If you didn't see it, it's a black and white RPG adventure completely contained in this kid's notebook, where you're able
with your HUD on the desk.
Yes, yeah, like your life and all that, your pencil, your eraser,
and you use
all
the calculator on there.
And yeah, you're able to erase different parts of the map, draw in different things, flip to another page to have enemy encounters. It looks super inventive.
Yes.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. This one and Lorelei and the Laser Eyes did not look like full on like AAA third parties. They looked like indies. It looked like those should have been shown off in the Indie Direct.
It did look like it could have been indies, and I don't know if they are. I didn't pay that close attention to that detail. They look like games I wanted to play. So
yeah, I mean, this one is going to be interesting.
They don't say who the developer is, but it's being published by Aniplex. Like, that's not normal.
What is Aniplex?
They publish anime. Like they'll take anime from Japan, dub it, and then release it in North America in English.
Everybody's getting involved in publishing games. Maybe we should start doing that. We should start publishing games. And so we'll have to be called
Nintendo Dad's publishing arm, right?
We'll have to be NDads, but
that's it can't be Nintendo Dads because boy, that would get shut down before we could even fart. Right. We've talked about Sonic Frontiers a little bit on the show before about how I know I have about how like cautiously optimistic I am about this game, but they showed a little bit more.
Yeah.
During this direct, and guys, I'm kind of starting to get excited about Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to this. This looks like this could be a good Sonic game that I would actually play so I've tried the other Sonic games and I just can't. I just can't. But
yeah, I really think that the like the open world nature of it is going to really be able to capture that essence of speed.
Yes, exactly.
That 3D Sonic has lacked. And they showed off, and correct me if I'm wrong, I want to call them Cyberverse levels, but they're like cyber something.
Cyberspace,
cyberspace, like cyberspace levels. Cyberspace, where you go and it's almost like you're transported to a different Sonic game from its history.
Parts of it.
The Green Hill Zone was shown off. There was like a
almost
futuristic
like a holodeck
city.
It's like he's transported to a holodeck.
Yeah, and it's almost like a challenge level, And so I'm interested in seeing what that's all about. I do think that the combat looks a little wonky, and I hope that's just early build showing. I
didn't notice it wonky. I thought the way I perceived it was like it was using Sonic's speed and spin attacks at different angles because it's 3D. So I thought that was pretty cool.
There's this one attack he does where he runs around and like creates a tornado or spins around and creates a tornado and the enemies and him fly up into it. And it was just, it kind of looked real. It was a little cheesy looking, but the other stuff was fine. Okay. Like there was some stuff that he was doing like projectile attacks where he's like kicking and these arrows are flying toward him and stuff. I thought that looked good.
There were some areas that looked framey. Don't know if it's the game or just YouTube's version.
I'm guessing that was Nintendo Switch footage that was shown.
Maybe.
Why would they not? Right.
But I'm interested and want to learn more.
I'm interested in this on PS5. But again, we go back to the whole like if Nintendo's all you got, then this is a great. I think they might finally have. I did hear something too the other day that one of the directors of the game said that the focus of the game is melancholy. Like it's kind of like almost like what they're saying is like the focus is on melancholy and basically what happens when Sonic's attitude can't be what pushes him through. Like what happens when the threat's too big.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a Sonic game. I don't know.
I'm all about that. Like I think that's a new direction for the character. So I like that.
It could go either very well or very not well.
Yeah, it could. You're right.
It could backfire for sure.
Also shown off after this was another look at Disney Dreamlight Valley, which is basically Animal Crossing meets The Sims meets Disney. This is a Game Loft game. And so it's probably going to be mobile, and it's probably going to have a ton of pay to whatever, but you're going to get early access to it on Nintendo Switch starting September 6th. My daughter is super hype about this game because she saw that she saw that you could like hang out with Disney characters and help them do stuff. And so
see, that's what I'm intrigued about. I'm intrigued on which characters will be there, and if certain characters are there, I may end up playing this too. So, because I'm a big Disney fan too. So
yeah, me too. But my son was watching it with me, and he's like, "Oh, this is stupid." Then he saw Ratatouille, and that's like his favorite Disney movie of all time. I don't know why. I've asked him. I'm like, dude, what draws you to Ratatouille? And he's like, I don't know. It's Ratatouille. So he's probably all in on that too.
Nice.
Live Alive is coming out July 21st. We knew that, but a pre-order is now available, and a demo was announced during this direct, in which you can play 3 chapters or the beginning of 3 chapters. And the save data transfers over to the main game. I've been working away on this. I'll give my impressions on it later on in the show. But it looks absolutely stellar. There's really nothing you can spoil from it. I'll just be honest. I
still have to play the demo too.
Oh, okay. I got you. I won't do that. Following up with some.
I haven't played the demo yet, but planned on playing it tomorrow, and do it on stream.
Good, because I think people want to see that. Following up with some real quick hits here. Doraemon, Story of Seasons, Friends of the Great Kingdoms coming 2022. Minecraft Legends is coming 2023. We kind of already knew about that. And then Dragon Quest Treasures is coming December 9th. Jesse, did we know anything about this game before this direct?
Yeah, this was originally announced last year at Dragon Quest 35th anniversary presentation, when they also announced Dragon Quest 3 Remake HD 2D, and touched a little bit on Dragon Quest 16. But this is the first time that Nintendo said anything about it, and I think the first time we've seen it outside of Square's initial presentation last year. So it's
what makes this and Dragon Quest Builders different?
Well, these they're side story games. They're not mainline games. I think the combat might be different. I don't fully remember. So it's kind of like Rocket Slime, those games on the DS.
I feel like the big angle on this that they were pushing was that you can recruit friendly monsters, and they can come along with you and help.
Yeah, and monster recruiting had been a part of. Well, I think it got a start in Dragon Quest V, which actually released before Pokemon. And then there's been a whole series of side games about monster recruiting. And this, I think, started out as one of that type of side game, but then got its own twist to it.
I got you.
And it features a younger version of Eric from Dragon Quest XI and his sister also, which you also meet in 11, so again, also a younger version of him.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Also announced, they kind of did a sizzle reel thing there at the end. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes was shown, of course, available now. No Man's Sky coming October 7th. This was previously given a summer 2022 release window, so that slipped. A Plague Tale Requiem Cloud version is coming October 18th. And then Captain Velvet Meteor, the Jump Plus Dimensions.
I have no idea what that is.
July 28th. Pre-order is available now. They put that in there like we were supposed to flip out and be excited for it. I have no clue what this game is.
Right.
But then Portal Companion Collection was announced, available today. That is out right now. And from there, they showed Harvestella, which is a brand new farming sim game, RPG coming from Square Enix, November 4th. And if don't remember, or correct me if I'm wrong here, this was listed as a Nintendo Switch exclusive.
I think so.
So basically, what it is you're living in this world where you're going to experience the four seasons: summer or spring, summer, fall, and winter. Then there is a fifth season that happens every year called Quietus, which basically is like hell on earth. So you're spending all the other four seasons building up your defenses, gathering your crops, being sure your town is protected. And then you have to live through this season where all the monsters are stronger, where your crops wither, where different characters like sequester themselves inside buildings and stuff like that. Y'all, what is with all the farming sims?
I don't know. It's a whole genre that I don't care about. So.
But this does sound like it has a good spin on it, a different spin on things there. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
The fifth season. That's pretty crazy.
Even that Doraemon Story of Seasons game, that's the second game in that franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you've got Doraemon, you're farming. You've got Harvestella, you're farming. There's another one, I think Disney Dreamlight Valley, you're farming.
The Life Sims games.
Yeah,
sure.
like
there's a lot of Life Sims games.
There's a lot. I mean, still out there. There's Stardew Valley that's out there. There's Harvest Moon that's out there. The like make plant craft fight genre of games is overdue for a pause.
Is everybody trying to grab that Animal Crossing audience?
Yeah. I don't get it. And on the other hand, like with all of that, knowing how popular that genre is, especially on Switch, where's the Sims?
Right.
Like it doesn't.
Let's not go down the EA path again.
Well, anyway, the final announcement of the Direct was that finally Persona games are coming to Nintendo Switch. We kind of had an inkling this was going to happen since they'd been announced for both Xbox and are they coming to PlayStation 2 like the
yes.
Yeah, so the other ones too. So day and date with the other systems, Persona 5 Royal is coming on October 21st, which yes, that's one day after Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. So that means it's going to be an expensive weekend for people. Also, Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable are both coming at a later date, presumably 2023, as they haven't been announced for other consoles either. But yes, you can finally play Persona 5 Royal on the go, dispelling the myth that the Switch can't run it, and that being the reason it took so long. And as a little bonus here, y'all, Digital Foundry already has footage up comparing the Switch version to other versions that are already out there. So you can decide if it's for you or not. There you go.
More than likely, people who played Persona 5 Royal already played it, obviously, who are into it on the better systems. There's a lot of people who either chose not to play it there or they tried to and knew they couldn't finish it because they didn't have the time to sit in front of a TV. So like most people who are hoping for it to come to the Switch, they're getting it there so that they can play it on the go.
Yeah, this would be a good one to, take the Switch to bed, play a bit before going to sleep every night to start whittling away at it. And
especially since it's 100 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently Blanco finished his playthrough, although I think he was playing the vanilla version, not Royal.
Yes, he was.
In 85, 86 hours.
Still a long time.
It's a long.
That's 3.5 years for me.
Well, I mean, this you're beating the final divine beast on Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Right now.
Yep.
Did you do it before the show started?
Do what? Oh, I was playing Zelda before the show started. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. All right. Good deal. We'll take care of that. Well, guys, that is our wrap up of the partner direct. As we close out here, guys, what did you think overall? I mean, I'll go ahead and say I didn't think it was all that spectacular. I compared it earlier to having to take a public elevator where there's a turd in the middle of the room. Like you're going somewhere, but it's not going to be pleasant. A lot. I was really kind of put off by the Monster Hunter thing at the beginning, and the fact that we'd seen a lot of these games before. We'd seen. I think Return to Monkey Island had already been announced on another direct. Sonic Frontiers had already been shown. Disney Dreamlight Valley had already been shown. Live Alive was already shown. Minecraft Legends was already confirmed coming to the Switch. They showed Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. No Man's Sky was shown. Plague Tale Requiem was already shown and given a release date at another time. It just didn't do much for me. And to be honest, it wasn't what I wanted. And I think that's partly why I'm disappointed is that I feel like it's beyond time for Nintendo to kind of pull back the curtain on first party stuff and give us a little bit more look at what we're getting. It's time for an Advance Wars date. I don't know. I got accused. Like I feel like a lot of times that I am too positive on Nintendo. Like I kind of stump for them, like maybe that I just shill for Nintendo. And so I kind of have to, like, I'm conscious of that. Like I have to step back. But this week I got accused of being negative. Like, do you like anything lately? Not really. 2022 has kind of been disappointing for me in terms of Nintendo's first party offerings. And maybe it's because we started this year saying, oh man, look at the schedule. It looks like it's going to be another 2017, right? And I don't think it's going to be.
Half of it shifted into 2023.
Yeah. So I'm just a little disappointed and a little put out by that, but there's still plenty to play. And there are several games here that like Sparks of Hope's huge. Persona 5 is huge for me. Blanc is huge. Sonic Frontiers. So there's still plenty to play. I didn't care much for the presentation. And I think it showed us a little bit of Nintendo's thoughts on it too, because like there was no premiere set for this. It was just a video that just showed up on their YouTube channel at 9:00. And it didn't even really like at 9:00 or whatever time it came. Like I even posted on our Discord. I was like, where is it? Because it didn't show up immediately. I went to their YouTube channel expecting to see like a queue, of people chatting and waiting.
It's literally a checkbox between scheduling it and being a premiere.
They didn't do it. To me, that spoke like, hey, we don't have a lot of confidence in this, but that's just me. What'd you guys think?
I think there's something going on here for sure. A couple of thoughts came to mind during this conversation and even before this. For me, to talk about the direct itself, this showcase, I thought it was fine. It was basically, obviously, there's a lot of repeats for us because we always watch all this stuff. So, of course, there's a lot of repeats for us. But this is something that's, hey, we got a new ton of fans or people coming into video games with the Switch. So we're just going to remind them, let them know this is what we got going on. So maybe they're not as familiar with a lot of this stuff as we are. The other thing is too, I thought, well, why didn't Nintendo do a more robust first party type direct? We got a couple things that usually come after one. So it's like, okay, here's the direct. We'll have another direct. Here's our main direct with our games. We'll have another direct about this specific game, and then we'll have another one about our partners. But they kind of went back to what they did in late 2020 with, here is a direct specifically on a game, kind of like which game was it? Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
They did a specific
direct. Oh yeah, Origami King.
And then they, that game was coming out quickly. We already knew about Three Hopes, I think, for a while. But anyways, or not Three Hopes, but Xenoblade. anyways, so they did a specific direct for that, and then they did a partner showcase because they wanted to get something out specifically for the third parties to support that. Hey, we have games coming, even though we haven't talked about anything else other than what you already know about. So it makes me think one of a couple things. One, COVID's catching up to them. A lot of the things they had in place ran out, and they're working on things. And plus, since they are still mostly, it sounds like working from home, it slowed down production on a lot of things. So we're getting the trickle effect. When a game's ready, it's going to come out. We'll get news on that. Or something's coming so big that they didn't want to drown out everybody else. So they let everything else go first. They didn't want to drown out Xenoblade. They wanted to get that done and out of the way. And they didn't want to drown out the third parties, get their games. So instead of announcing a lot of these third parties during the same direct, they said, okay, let's push these games out of the way, especially because a lot of them are repeats. And maybe there is a third direct coming that we're not aware of, like the rumored next week or whatever, or whatever. So I guess it's already past the rumored dates. But anyways, maybe there is still one more direct coming, or maybe not. Maybe the big thing comes in the late August, early September timeframe when we get the next direct. But that's what my thoughts started going, was like, I wonder if there's something bigger coming, and that's why they chose to do it after these other things, get those out of the way, or COVID is just caught up and we're just getting the slower trickle of things. And they went back to the 2020 thing when they didn't have nothing to show, and which is, let's do the one game at a time. Let's do the partner showcase. And then when we have something else, we'll do that something else later on. There's no need to do a major direct because there's no group of things to show.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I hate that you're right. I do. I think what my worry is that, just personally for me, that the back half of 2020, besides Splatoon 3, there's really nothing that I'm interested in first party wise. With Advance Wars gone, I'll get Pokemon, but I'm not like I'm not a super. I've put maybe 3 to 4 hours in Arceus. So, I've got that to play.
Well, between now and the potential August, September direct, we got enough, right? I think so. I think by late August, early September, when they usually do their holiday lineup direct, if we don't see anything substantial there, then maybe it is something more to do with COVID. I wouldn't say anything to worry about. The other thought I got too was, and I think I mentioned this last time, was it's almost like in the same vein as when they were preparing for the next system. When they were going from the Wii U to the Switch, where there was a lot of quiet. Here's all the stuff that's coming out from all these other areas, and these smaller type titles are still coming. But the bigger titles, we didn't get anything on until they started talking about the new system. So that's the other thought I had too, is like, crazy as it may sound, is are they pushing things to be for the Switch Pro or Super Switch or whatever you want to call it, or Switch
there are
1.5.
rumors going around that Nintendo put an increase in their stockpile of their raw materials used for systems. Don't know what that means. It just means that they found a cheap supplier and stocked up, or
there's also been
something's coming. I don't know.
There was also a report that we have to remember NVIDIA supplies their chips, and they may already have plenty of chips for what they need. Starting to stockpile that. So, although NVIDIA I think also does car chips, but it's still a different chip that the Switch uses, so it's an older chip. But anyways, again, there's 3 possibilities there. So what is it going to be? We won't know until we find out whether or not we do get another direct after the holiday in here in the United States, July 4th. or if it's something to do with because COVID's finally catching up to all the development for everything else, or are they preparing for something bigger? So
we won't know until we know.
right, because my uncle hasn't been telling me much lately, so I don't know.
Right. Well, guys, let's move on and talk a couple of other little news items here. Junktopia has been announced as the fourth game in the Jackbox Party Pack 9. There'll be one more game to be released, and that should be coming out here within the next couple of months, as usually in August or September is when those launch, I believe. And
I think it's October.
Is it October?
Yeah.
But have they always had the games out in this amount of time?
They've always been in October. Yeah. I have a tentative date of, where did I put it? Of the October 13th. That's just
it's
my
usually
estimation.
that. Yeah. It's usually that week. You're right. So that'll be coming out. And also other game release news, Lego Brawls has been pushed back from a June 2020 release window because, hey, guess what? They didn't meet it to September 2nd on Nintendo Switch. Of course, this game has been out over 2 years on Apple Arcade. And so we're still catching up on those games that have been released there. Just really interesting.
Something else quick, Jackbox related, the party starter that was just released today for $20 that comes with the 3 other more popular games.
Oh, that came out today.
That came out today.
Okay.
Yep. And something I want to mention too, as you mentioned that Lego Brawls being delayed, this is actually a good example of what I was talking about, COVID affecting things, and where we don't see this with Nintendo because Nintendo doesn't do a release date, far in advance and then delay it in most of the time, where they do more of the, it's coming out in a month or two or sooner, because they know it's coming out. So there could have been things that were lined up, just didn't make it and got pushed back, but we don't know that because Nintendo doesn't give us release dates too far ahead of time.
Yeah.
So
You're right. And maybe something that just pops up. And y'all, honestly, I'm going back to our prediction show. I really believe that the delay of the Mario movie delayed a Mario game.
That makes sense to me.
I don't necessarily want to call it just like a game tie-in where like you play through the movie, but I think there was something along those lines that was meant to come out with that.
What if Nintendo said our game isn't ready, so the movie can't go out?
It could, but
that sounds like something Nintendo would do.
It did. And I mean, a news article was out last week saying that the movie is 3/4 of the way done.
Okay.
So it's still being worked on. And they also said that Chris Pratt is going to blow everybody away, which I'm a Chris Pratt fan, but I don't know. They say he's not doing an Italian accent. So I would love, like, y'all, I would love at Christmas for there to be like some kind of teaser trailer announced, like attached to some huge movie for this, where he speaks for the first time.
Okay.
That would get us hot. That would bring the hype.
Yep. Maybe Mario's just got Italian heritage but isn't from Italy, so he's not gonna,
right.
He's not gonna sound Italian.
Sure.
He's American and just has Italian heritage.
I'm fine with that.
So there you go.
That totally can happen. Speaking of stuff that totally can happen, let's take a quick break for an ad from our sponsors. And guys, we're sponsored this week by our good friends over at Gooder and Manscaped and Glitch Energy, where you can go to each site and use the code NINDADS, that's NINDADS, to get free shipping in some cases, percents, money off of your orders, as well as other goodies. So head on over to gooder.com, that's GOODR, gooder.com, manscaped.com, or glitchenergy.com. and pick up something for yourself. You know what? Treat yourself from the Nintendo Dads by using the code NINDADS. It's NINDADS. You'll be glad you did. Go get you some sunglasses, some ball cream, and some energy drinks, and combine them all.
That sounds interesting.
Have a great weekend. It'll be fantastic.
That sounds like a party to me.
It does. So check out our sponsors, Gooder, Manscaped, and Glitch Energy. And we want to thank them for sponsoring the show and sharing some great products with our Nintendo Dads family.
Oh, we got raided by the Nintendo pals too. Hey,
Nintendo pals. Awesome. Thank you. It's a great time for them to raid too. Let's discuss that Xenoblade 3 Collector's Edition, shall we? So if you've been following this story, Xenoblade 3 is coming out in July. And the Collector's Edition went up a few weeks ago on the Nintendo store webpage. And that page proceeded to promptly crap the bed. Did anybody get an order through that first time? Okay,
first time? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so
nobody did the first time.
Nobody got an order through. It was a complete and utter disaster. And so Nintendo said, guess what? We'll stop. We'll recalibrate. We'll do it again. And they decided today would be the day that this would happen. And guess what?
Well, because they needed the pre-order numbers for end of quarter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Guess what? The website crapped the bed again. Just the same thing happened, except it's a little more stable. There was a little more stability this time. As of this afternoon,
a few people got some orders in.
Yeah, as of this afternoon, I saw a few people in our community get some orders in, but by and large, there was an air of despair and disappointment in our Discord there in the Nintendo channel. And across the internet, people were upset. In fact, Xenoblade 3 trended on Twitter tonight for all of the wrong reasons, most of them being complaints about Nintendo's pre-order system, which seemed to be completely random who got through and who didn't, even though people were sitting in a queue. And there's lots of people who don't have a special edition tonight that wanted one. And I'm sure some of these are already hitting eBay for some despicable and disgusting prices.
Yeah, I saw one tweet says that they saw one on eBay for $300.
Tim, you wanted a Xenoblade 3 Collector's Edition, didn't you?
Yeah, well, the first round, when we were allowed to get two, I was going to get two, one for myself and one for the Nintendo Dads community to do a giveaway. But this time around, they said they were only doing one. So this time I was going to try to get, both Justin and I were going to try to get one for the community. And I sat in the queue. I had it here. It kept going and going, saying, wait here. What it specifically says is don't refresh the screen unless you want to get out of line. So I was there, sitting there, and it says, wait, you're in queue all day. And as this is going on, I'm keeping, I had this going on a separate screen, and I was back on my computer watching everybody else. And I saw that messages coming through about the Wario 64 site talking about, oh, you do a different link. You can go in and you'll be able to order. And then I don't know how much longer, seconds later, I saw another tweet. Oh, they're sold out already. And I'm still sitting here in a queue and just like watching all this happen. I'm like, what in the world? What good does this do for a customer if I'm sitting here being patient like the Nintendo site says to be? Wait here, don't get out of line. You're next, or not next, but you're in line, and it doesn't do anything. Just sitting there spinning. It makes no sense. It's stupid, and unfair to a certain advantage. To a certain extent, where it's like I did exactly what the site was designed to do for me as a customer, and it. Basically, I watched everybody just kind of walk past me. Like I'm, just envision myself standing there in line, in a GameStop or whatever for the midnight launch. But you see people walking by you, going right into the store, and then walking out with whatever it is you're waiting in line for. And you're like, what's going on here? Why? How did they do that? And that's what sucks. And the other thing that sucks is that Nintendo, I know you guys watch us and all that kind of stuff, so listen up. This was very disappointing to see when you watched this happen. And it was exciting to see that you're using a new system to order things, so for customers to come order things. And then it was like, okay, understood. New system, work out your kinks, come back, and then hopefully it works out for the better. It, I guess, did slightly for some people, but it didn't. It was disappointing. It didn't work out. And it was very disappointing. Like I said, just to be sitting there watching other people either successfully do it by going through a back door or another link or whatever, while I'm sitting here waiting patiently all day. And another person we saw in our community was basically kept sitting there all day waiting for their turn, and they didn't get it. Very disappointing. And again, brings back the fact of why are companies like this doing it this way when you've seen other companies like Limited Run Games do a pre-order system, or like some of the other hardware companies. I forget the hardware company that did the upgraded Game Boy Advance or whatever. The all metal version or whatever that was.
Oh yeah.
The fancy version there where it was pre-order, or like the Playdate, or even the Steam Deck. You go in, you put in your orders, and you got waves. It's like you either fell in a certain wave of groups of shipping things, or you do like Limited Run where you open the window long enough and then you close it, and then you fulfill your pre-orders by a certain date in 4 to 6 months. I mean, Xenoblade's coming out later this year anyway, so why not do a pre-order thing this way? I mean, a lot of the last time this happened, we kind of said the same thing, but this one has a little bit more disappointment behind it because it should have been fixed. It should have been something to the effect of, I think more frustrating was just I was doing what the site said, but I saw everybody else going through the back door and getting theirs.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't understand for the life of me why at this point Nintendo cannot figure out pre-orders.
Yeah, they were queuing up multiple times. Like they were queuing up before putting it in the cart. And then the cart sometimes would say, yeah, you have an item in the cart, but oh no, your cart's empty. But you have something in the cart, but it's empty. Yeah, there's a loop of that for a while. And then the cart queued up. I'm like, no. You don't queue the cart. If you're supposed to queue in the front of the store, let people buy their item, then check out. If you are queuing twice, you let too many people in the first door.
Yeah. And I'm just glad. Look, this is not good, and I'm glad it wasn't for something that I really wanted, because I would be extremely upset as well. I hate, Tim, that you were not able to get one. My only hope at this point for people who want one is that maybe there's going to be a round 2, and that your account will keep
round
a
3.
person from buying at this point, round 3, like if you've got one on your account, it would keep you from buying another one.
Yeah, I just loaded up the page. I was able to get one ordered. I loaded up the page, and it does say item limit reached, even though it still also says currently unavailable.
That's good.
Okay.
The problem with this is that Nintendo never makes enough special editions. Never. And at this point, it's like you've got a month. They could have done a special edition pre-order 2 months ago when they first announced it, and they could have produced enough for the amount of pre-orders that they took.
Yeah,
right.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
And some people even were reporting that they were seeing. Some people were seeing it at $89.99, and some people were seeing it at $119.99.
Well, was $119.99 the count of that price?
I don't know. They said that it looked like the price went up for them.
Yeah, the whole thing was definitely disappointing. Like they didn't learn anything from it, or didn't actually fix anything. It
It's
was
just they
let's
just
try it
waited and said
again.
we'll do it again on another day and hope
Yeah.
that
It would
it's
make
okay.
if the 119 was Canada dollars, that makes sense because that's
My
about
question is
what it works
this:
out to be.
is the only way to get one of these through Nintendo's online store? Are they not going to sell them in stores at all?
That's
That's
my
correct.
understanding.
Did they make 20? I mean,
That's correct.
and I guess this maybe this is naive, but is this series really that popular?
No, it's just Nintendo's putting out a collector's edition, so people want it.
Well,
Well, that's not that's the crazy thing because they did the collector's edition of Metroid Dread, and I was able to get that with no problem
sure.
through the same channel with their older system. Now with the same system, so there's definitely popularity differences there. More people playing Xenoblade than Metroid Dread, obviously. But if you're going on the theory of because it's a collector's edition, that doesn't hold true because not everybody bought it, but maybe because those people who scalp them know Metroid Dread wasn't going to sell.
Right.
The collector's edition, at least. So where this one past collector's editions for sure sold. So that's why this one was hot for everybody to have. And there's probably going to be somebody made multiple accounts so that they could try to get as many copies as they can. And we'll see some video of that person hoarding 10 of them in their warehouse with a bunch of other games that we couldn't get our hands on.
I just looked at eBay. There's a bunch of them already listed up in the 200s range. There's one for 300, one for 320.
That's the other frustrating thing too, is like no learning here. And that's frustrating to me. Nintendo didn't learn anything or learn from what they should have been researching in this environment where, okay, how do we combat scalpers? One, look at the date of the account. When was it created? Because I sure as hell created an account a long time ago with my name on it that when I go in there, it's sitting there spinning to see that it's me, Neoprime 33, before I could hit the buy button.
My account was created when Wii U's launch day.
Exactly. So they know who's in there first.
What if somebody, but how would that keep somebody who is like legitimately, they opened their account today or yesterday?
That's what I'm saying. Nintendo knows because of that. It's like, okay, there's data there. There's like, as soon as they get in the store, who signed in? You're signed in. This account was created. You've bought things from us. And all that kind of stuff. And there's ways from the data to be able to tell whether or not this is somebody going to be just scalping it or whatever, and unfortunately, that means there are going to be a few people who did create their account today a few days before, because they learned that this was coming for sale on their system and their first time Nintendo owners. But again, there's other data there that should show like, are they new? Are they in a family plan type thing? Do they have other things that they bought from us?
This is why stores closing like GameStops and Toys R Us and things like that are bad, because that limits the channels for pre-orders. And when the channels for pre-orders are limited, you end up with people like you who are sorely disappointed because they didn't have the opportunity. Like, when you spread those pre-orders out, like if they'd said today, this special edition is going to be available for pre-order from Walmart, Target, GameStop, Best Buy, and the Nintendo store, at least you have a chance at one of those places. And at least like at some of those places, you could have walked in a brick and mortar store and said, I want to pre-order this right now through your system right here, right now.
Yeah. Again, that tells me that Nintendo didn't learn anything with this development of the site, because if you're going to limit it to just yours, then do the research and figure out how to best give your customers the better experience. And I think you would point to a pre-order type system like Limited Run, for example.
You want to go one better?
Sure.
You want to do one better and one that would make people mad, but it would maybe even stop a little bit of this. You got to be pre-orders go up 2 hours earlier for My Nintendo members.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, why not? Best Buy charges $200 to give people early access.
That's customer loyalty for sure. Yes, too. So it's like you got people who've signed up for your loyalty program, your rewards program. Use it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the frustrating thing is nothing was learned.
Like I was very frustrated by the way that Metroid Dread pre-orders went up, like in OLED, even like there was no warning. It's like you had to know somebody on the inside. You had to know when. Why can they not but I mean, even today, they said they'll go live on June 30th, but did they give a time?
Nope.
Or did it was just Jesse was like, hey, there's a queue.
That's the other frustrating thing. No time was given.
I noticed it because of Wario64's Twitter account.
Well,
why do that?
Wario 64's Twitter account's great sometimes, but then other times it is a plague.
Yeah, because as soon as he lets everybody know, then the whole world knows now, and then that's when it's like, it's gone.
It's gone in minutes.
But that's why just give a freaking time.
Yeah, man, I feel for you because like I've been there. I've done. I remember missing the Zelda Joy-Cons. Thankfully, somebody got those. Thankfully, they came back in stock at Amazon too. I could have got them there. You know what's funny is the Metroid Dread amiibo are still sitting at my Target.
Yeah, I would say don't feel bad for me. It was I was okay with it. If I'm going to play this game, it's going to be download anyways. It was mainly I was going to get one for the Nintendo Dads for the community contest or whatever Justin had in mind. So after they said it was one, it was frustrating going from 2 to 1 because it was 2 originally. Like I said, I was gonna get one for myself and for the community, but then it went down to 1. I was like, all right, I already kind of dealt with that and was like, okay, I'll try to get one for the community, and then couldn't even do that. So I do hope that those people who really wanted it did get it. Obviously there's a few people out there on eBay who got it and are going to sell theirs because they know they can make an extra $1.
Yep.
Or $10.
Yeah. The schwack load.
A schwack load is a butt ton of bucks. And it's wrong. It's terrible. Anyway, let's move on and talk about an event, shall we? Tim, why don't you let us know about what's coming up?
Sure. Before I do that, I want to answer Mecha Dragon's question. He says, how else will people know in regards to knowing when that dropped? You give a time and a date, not just the date. You give a time. Then everybody knows. Let's go to there, and because it's all going to get crashed anyways. So build your system better to handle people coming in.
The alternative is you have 1 million people F5 putting extra load on their servers. It doesn't have to be.
Right. So, all right. Anyways, the event that we always talk about is the third Friday of every month. We do the dinner table, and that's where we can talk about stuff like this and be able to talk about it with each other, especially those who are disappointed and may not have gotten one, or those who may have gotten one, and help the others feel better that they'll share pictures of their new Xenoblade special edition when they get it. So, but anyways, that's what we get together for every third Friday of the month, doing Nintendo Dads dinner table, where the whole community, if you in the Discord, if you're Patreon or Twitch subscriber, you get to come in and join in. On July 15th will be the July version at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we just get together and chit chat about everything, just what's been going on with gaming, the highs and lows, and what's been going on in media overall, like any new music drops or any new movies or TV shows. We talk about everything in there: books, comics, toys, all kinds of fun stuff. Even one of these times, I plan on sharing out all the different hats I have. I think is one of these ones I'll do. I'll just bring them all down and share all my hats because people are asking, how many hats do I have? Just come enjoy the dinner table and you can find out. But that's every third Friday of every month. That's our next event.
All right. And now it's time for Jesse's PokéMinutes.
Pika Pika Pikachu.
I hate you all.
July updates for Pokemon Go. July's Community Day will be on July 17th and will feature Starly. Pokemon Go Anniversary event will run from July 6th through July 12th. During this event, Charmeleon, Charizard, and Pikachu will be wearing party hats. Trainers who have party hat Charmanders from previous events will be able to evolve them. A special event featuring Pokemon debuts and new adventures will take place in a yet-to-be-revealed event that will take place from July 27th through August 2nd. Pokemon appearing in 5-star raids this month. Articuno starting on July 1st. Zapdos starting on July 7th. Moltres starting on July 14th. Dialga starting on July 22nd. Pokemon appearing in Mega Raids this month. Mega Charizard X starting on July 1st. Mega Charizard Y starting on July 7th. Mega Pidgeot starting on July 14th. Mega Gengar starting on July 22nd. The July research breakthrough encounter will be Lickitung. That is all of the Pokemon Go news for the week.
Robo-Jesse.
That was fantastic.
Robo-Jesse has a new voice.
Yeah, I got inspired. I'll explain that in a little bit.
Okay. Let's talk about what we've been playing, shall we? Jesse, you're up first.
All right. So I played Portal in its entirety. I did that in a stream. Was it 2 nights ago? I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was 2 nights ago. And Tim hopped on, and I'm like, Tim, if you're planning on playing this game and you've not played it before, don't watch me play it because it'll spoil half the puzzles for you. So I kind of kicked him out. But
I was like, okay, see ya.
People who were watching me saying that the GLaDOS voice was creepy and said, the Robo-Jesse's voice should sound like that. And I'm like, I can probably make some tweaks. So I found out how to add an effect in to the voice. So I like how it turned out.
Nice.
So yeah, I played
I was waiting
Portal.
for him to say something about cake.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is a lie. That's the rumor. So I played through Portal in its entirety on the stream. It was just under 2 hours in total. So that's on the website if you want to be spoiled. And then I started Portal 2. I started it yesterday and played a little bit more this afternoon, which is why my show prep went late, because I was playing that until longer than I should have. I'm still early on. I'm near the end of Act 1. Yeah, Portal 2 is like is at least 3 times longer than the original game. At least the original game pretty much has 2 distinct sections. Portal 2 has 3 distinct sections, and they're each are longer than Portal's sections. So again, since the game's still early for Switch users, I won't say much more beyond that, since I'm sure for like Tim, these will be the first time people have had a chance to play these games, but they are good games. And actually, I was worried that I was not going to be able to handle playing it with a controller, because I'm so used to playing it the Steam version with a mouse and keyboard. Portal was launched in 2007. Portal 2 launched in 2011. So I've been playing these games for a long time. But I was able to play through the whole game with the controller. So I'm like, hey, okay, this isn't so bad.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know about, because when I came on, I wanted to know about that, and you were like, "Nope, go away."
The only way that I've ever played them is with a controller. So
okay. I do remember
was right at home
when Portal 2 first launched. I bought it on the PS3 because it had Steam integration, So if you bought the PS3 version and linked it with your Steam account, you get the Steam version for free. So that's how I bought that game. And I did try that with a controller, and I didn't like it at the time. So now apparently things have gotten better.
Good to hear.
Nick is asking if there's gyro controls. There is an option to turn it on, but I never felt like I needed to.
Yeah.
But it's there, but I can't. I haven't tried it, so I can't speak to it.
I've played through the majority of Portal 1 as of this evening, and so I've never used gyro controls. It feels very... I mean, I originally played it on the Xbox 360 as part of the Orange Box collection.
Box.
So it's always felt good with the controller to me. So I didn't think I needed it. So yeah, that was my first experience with it.
Speaking of which, I heard that somebody got Half-Life 2 working on the Switch. I read that.
If by working you mean that they can't really do anything and it crashes occasionally and there's weird,
there's still
impassable
issues. But if someone has the time to actually put development into it, it can be done.
Sure,
because they run on the same engine.
Yeah, and I want to say here that the engine for this game, I mean, they've not really done anything to it. It's still very viable. I mean, it looks great on Switch and plays well too. And if, again, like Jesse said, if you've never experienced Portal or Portal 2, you really, I know they're $5 on Steam, but if all you have is a Nintendo console, you need to play these games. They're excellent. So
there's a difference there too. I mean, yeah, you can connect a controller to your PC and play on Steam, but you're already used to your Switch. You're probably going to want to play it there anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say, and you can play it on the go, but then some people will be like, well, there's Steam Deck. And I'll be like, is your Steam Deck?
Not everybody has a Steam Deck yet.
That's right. Yeah, not
100 million people have a Switch. There's not 100 million Steam Decks out there yet.
Tim, what have you been playing?
So I've been playing a couple games. First game I played, and I did 3 hours of it during a stream, and that's Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. We thankfully got a code from Nintendo UK, so thanks to them for giving us that code. I was able to play, because originally I was holding off to pick that up. I've been holding off to pick up a lot of things because of the next game I'll talk about, but I was thankful that we got that code and I was able to try it. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to play it as long as I can stand it. You know, I can be awake for it. So, and that was, a good almost 3 hours. So
apparently it was good.
Yeah. And John was cracking me up because he was like, it looked like you were playing all night. And that was because I left it docked after I was done streaming and left it paused there, or left it on. Yeah, I was paused there in the menu. So it looked like I'd been playing all night, and he was trying to figure out why I was playing this game rather than my PS5 that I recently acquired. So, because I just got that, he's like, why aren't you playing one of your other games? So I thought that was kind of funny.
You made Astrobot cry.
Right. 3 Hopes is, if you're not familiar, is, another Warriors game. It's a hack and slash game. With the twist of whatever game that's in, whatever. So like there's the Zelda ones, so it has a little bit of twists from those games. And then the Fire Emblem ones, their twists in this one is it has some of the same things that you had in 3 Houses, which is you have some strategy, you have some building between characters in there too. I didn't get a chance to do any of that other than talking to a few people, although when I did talk to them, you could see the little heart icons pop up and all that fun stuff. So when that happened, it is basically just a different version of 3 Houses, where it does a lot of the same things, but this is more hack and slash. So and I love good hack and slash games. So I had a lot of fun with it during the 2.5 hours, 3 hours I was playing on it, and I'm hoping to be able to jump back into it at some point. But I don't know, because right now I have a plan, and that is I have to finish The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild before Live Alive comes out. which is at
And
the
you're
end of
so
July.
close.
Yes, so that's the other game I've been playing, and I actually played a lot of that a couple hours earlier this week and a couple hours before the show, and I beat the 4th Divine Beast. So I got the 4th Divine Beast beaten, and now that was the last thing I did. So now I have things to prepare for to get to beat Ganon. So
Cool.
again,
Yay.
that much closer. So just Ganon left. And in fact, I posted a clip I captured a clip of Zelda talking to me after I beat that 4th Divine Beast. So, because you know how much everybody in the community is like, anytime I talk about another game, they show a picture of Zelda crying because I'm not playing Breath of the Wild. So Zelda's talking to me.
They're not gonna let up on you.
Zelda's talking to me. She's saying, "Hey, we're here for you. We're ready when you're ready to come beat up on Ganon." So I'm happy to say I'm getting that much closer, peeps. So
Gotcha.
that's what I've been
Awesome.
playing.
So since I've not been on for a while, I've got a pretty long list. I'm going to try to cut through these pretty quick. I've already talked about Portal, picked it and Portal 2 up, and I'll be playing through those. But to go into the last couple of weeks, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is awesome. I love this game, and we actually, the weekend it came out, my son and I downloaded it, made a pizza, and spent all night playing TMNT, eating pizza, drinking Kool-Aid. It was like I was back in the 90s.
That is awesome.
We had a fantastic time. We did not finish it. I did finish it on my own with Donatello, and I'm planning on going back and playing it again with those new characters. But for me, it's like one of those games I can drop into and play a few levels and I'm fine. You know, I'm done. I've also been playing Freshly Frosted, which we got a code for, which is a donut making puzzle game with a super cool. It's such a, like, it's a weird story, but I get it. You play as this girl who, when she has like anxious moments, imagines clouds in the sky as donut factories where like donuts are being made en masse. And so you have to draw the line to get it from the like place it comes out to the oven or to the delivery counter, the oven to the delivery counter. But between there, you've got to connect, like if it needs frosting or if it needs sprinkles or whipped cream or a cherry, or there's different color, like there's different shaped donuts based on different seasons, because you're playing through like a year in her life. So it's really, like, if you're like one of those people who like lo-fi music, there's great music in this game, but also like it's really zen. Like once you get it and like you start the machine, everything's stamping at the same time and moving at the same time. And it's like moving with the beat of the music. It's just beautiful. And it's got some really neat puzzles too. So I'm enjoying that. Also, speaking of puzzles, I also picked up Elec Head and finished it like the first weekend, but God, so good. Y'all, if you've not played Elec Head, run to your Switch and go buy this game right now. If you're a fan of Mega Man, there's some very Mega Man vibey things here going on. It's a one guy development team developed the whole game, all the puzzles, the music, the art, and it's so charming. The little robot is so cute, and I love this game. Money well spent. It also launched around the same time as FireGirl Hack and Splash Rescue DX. And I would love to be able to tell you that I love this game as much as I thought I was going to, but I don't. It's great. There's some good things about it, like the fact that, like you're playing this firefighter, she goes in, and each of the levels is like a procedurally generated, fire situation where you're in like rescuing pets and people. But what I really found out about it is, number one, the controls are way too floaty, and it really loves to get in cheap hits that cause you to die a lot. And Tim, I think you played some of this too, right? Did you?
Yes.
Did you kind of feel the same way, or am I off track on this?
I can't. How can I explain this? I'm not that good of a gamer. So
Okay.
for me, I felt it was me. So, but
See, I
that's
feel
why I
like
gave it more of a pass in some situations.
Yeah.
So I just thought I had to get good. So
no, I think there's some control issues, like especially like her movement. It
Yeah.
like she accelerates really quickly, and it's just
the controls aren't tight.
they're not
essentially.
tight,
Okay.
and not like I wanted. And I'm gonna keep hacking at it, get it, but
Yes. There's probably
it
going to
just-
be some sort of update to it. I'm sure they'll get
I hope,
feedback.
and I would
So-
love to see that. I would love to see those controls tightened up, because if they were, it would feel perfect. Like it would, like if they could just capture that feel, it would be a perfect game. I love the art style and everything.
Yes.
But
agreed.
and the story is just off the rails. It's like fire demons are attacking the city, and so there's some kind of government plot, and it's just firefighting.
I
guys.
definitely
It's
enjoyed
just-
it a lot, but definitely felt like I needed to get better at it. So.
Yeah, it's definitely got a curve there. I've also been playing the Research and Destroy demo that's out on Switch right now. If you are a fan of Codename Steam, that came out on Switch or on 3DS a few years ago,
All three
and you're
of you.
looking for like a similar game, you need to check this out.
Research and Destroy.
Yes, it is 3D strategy where you and two other like you control a team of 3 characters who all have different well, they have kind of the same abilities but kind of different too. And what you're doing is you're working to contain a team or an outbreak of monsters. So the tutorial level, you're killing zombies, and like you can snipe and you can do all this stuff, but it's done with this really interesting time limit thing. So like you can move and shoot and do everything you want to, but you only have like 15 seconds per character each round to do it in. So like you've got to kind of be strategic, and there's cover system, and it's really interesting. And I thought the demo was kind of beefy enough to understand, like to really understand what the game was about. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm thinking about picking it up. Speaking of demos, I've also played the Live Alive demo. This, you get to play 3 different time periods. One of them is like ancient China. The other is like the end of feudal Japan, and the other is the future. I finished the ancient China one, the one that's all about Kung Fu. And it does a great job of like being maybe the easy introduction to it. I really, really love the art style in this game, and it's fully voiced. So in a lot of part, or pretty much fully voiced. And the combat's satisfying. If you haven't seen it, it happens on a grid. So like you can move your character on this kind of 2.5D grid, and then your attacks, when you go to use your attacks, you can see the area they go in. And like with this guy who was the Kung Fu master, he had certain attacks that would only hit in certain squares. So you had to like maneuver him, but then they would also offer him the ability to like, he would go in and hit him and use the momentum to bounce back to safety. So he could get out of the opponent's clutches. Now the one I'm playing right now is the one in the Japanese feudal thing, and you're infiltrating a castle, and you either can fight or you can press the Y button and like disappear. All right. But here's the issue is I want to fight, and I've been fighting, but the game is forcing you to play at stealth, because you're really under leveled, like from the Chinese, when you're like level 10 and you're like rocking people. Right. And then this one, you're level 2. And the first fight I was in, I got trucked. It was like two hits and I was done. And so I think that what it's doing is it's causing you, because it tells you, you can either fight or you can stealth. I haven't tried the future one yet, but y'all, this is something special. I'm really excited for Live Alive now. The other game that I've been playing is Fall Guys. I've been enjoying that. I'm not buying the Battle Pass. I'm not. I keep telling myself that like every time I'm like, I'm not doing it. No, because I don't need another. Because I'm also playing Fortnite. I'm also playing Nintendo Switch Sports and trying to keep up with those things. The other game that I've picked up and have been playing is Sonic Origins, and it has spoiled me for Sonic because once you play Sonic 1 in widescreen, you'll never go back. And I did the digital package, like the full in digital package. I will tell you, I've not had any time to explore anything other than booting up Sonic 1 for the first time and like trying it out and being like, oh, okay. So I don't like, I've not experienced the changed music in 3, but I think for an overall package, it's okay. I think Sega got a little slimy with it, got a little greedy. But if you're a Sonic fan, this is really the only way you can play Sonic 3 modern, like on a modern console. So I think it's worth picking it up for that because Sonic 3 is an incredible game. So that's what I've been playing. It's a lot, I know, but I'm looking forward to getting in some more game time.
Before we move on, there was
weekend.
something else I wanted to mention. I just wanted to let you guys say what you played first, because this isn't a game. This is like a project that I started. Near the beginning of the year, I saw a series of videos by Ben Eater, Eater, where he would making this small little mini computer on an electrical breadboard where you have to put in a chip and then you connect the wire from one point to another point, so you can do this. It's meant for like electrical prototyping without needing solder, but so for a very good type of technology for a beginner who's learning microelectronics. So I picked up some of his kits and haven't done anything with them until a few weeks ago. I finally got around to starting some of his kits, and I shared some of the pictures on the Discord. Like the first one is just a timer, like a clock timer, because ultimately this is to be a little mini computer powered by a 6502 processor, which is the same processor that is in an NES. It's in Commodore 64. It's just in Apple IIs. So it was used a lot in the early 80s. And it at the time it ran at a clock speed of 1 to 4 megahertz. I think modern versions can go up to 17 megahertz, but his kit comes with a 1 megahertz timer. But the first kit I built basically is I built my own timer that has both variables, timing, and like I could push the button to send 1 clock pulse. So it can be, I think the fastest will be like 60 or 80 hertz. So very slow. And then I started building the actual 6502 part, and that part didn't work for me. So I ended up rebuying additional parts, bought more breadboards, and I'm going to build it out larger so I have more room to work with. So I'm going to use up a lot of extra wire in that process. But hopefully with that, I'll be able to, get this thing working. And ultimately what I want it to do is, it comes with, part of it is an LCD display, like 16 characters by 2 lines. So but if I can get it to say messages, either it'll pop in or scroll or however, I can like use those as part of like video headers and footers. Like, here's a list of patrons scrolling on this old school LCD display. I think something like that would be cool, because that's kind of the main reasons why I wanted to put this thing together. So hopefully
they see how it comes along for you.
Yeah. So I spent, I think, that's why I haven't played many games this week, because I spent like 10 hours over the weekend building the timer, and then like Monday and Tuesday, or Sunday and Monday, I was building the part that used the 6502, but I couldn't get things to work. So I'm going to pretty much scrap that and start rebuilding it this weekend.
Awesome.
Cool.
Very cool. It is now time to turn on the community spotlight. So let's head over there. We'll start with some questions from our community here from the chat. Mecha Dragon 101 asks, who is the best Nintendo waifu?
It's going to be very hard to change from Samus for me, I guess. So
I mean, that's, yeah.
So I was thinking, how about the OG waifu, Pauline?
Oh, there you go. There you go. That works.
I think I'm going to have to go with Rosalina, guys.
Nice. All right.
It's the swoop of the hair.
The high,
Yeah.
one eye. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Yep. It's like that. She was like, I remember when they first introduced her, and I was like, oh, so it's the emo Mario Princess, the scene girl.
Well,
okay. It's a nice aesthetic.
So I like how they're doing what they're doing with Rabbit Rosalina, where she's just kind of tired, doesn't look like she really wants to be there.
Yes.
Her idol is her head is on the box, just sleeping. when she's in cover.
I like it. I like it. I wish they would have introduced some more new characters, more new rabbits, but maybe they will. Maybe they will.
Yes.
Well, there
I mean, there
are 3 DLC packs. So
there's Rabbit, Waluigi, and Wario. So I was hoping for real Wario and Waluigi. But
true.
anyway,
I forgot about them.
We got Bowser. That's okay. John from Dad's After Dark says, a few years ago, I played Bloodstained on Switch and was in awe of how good a game it was. I loved it. And after beating it, I decided to look up some reviews, and they showed Xbox and PlayStation footage. And that's when I learned that the Switch version graphically was heavily compromised. On more powerful consoles, it was a smooth 60 frames per second and looked and controlled much prettier. My question for the dads is, what's a game you played on a Nintendo console or older console in general, and then experienced in a better way later and were blown away? The answer that came to me first and foremost was when I got my PS5 and downloaded Fortnite. I was blown away because I've been so used to playing on Switch for so long. It's actually on next gen is really, really a gorgeous game. Light effects and everything.
I think there's only one game I can think of that isn't. Here's a game I played on the NES, and then I saw its arcade counterpart, and the arcade's so much better. Like Gauntlet, for example. But there is a more recent example, because when Persona 5 Strikers came out, I think it was last year, I played it on the Switch, and my son bought it on the PS4. And it is noticeable. The graphics themselves don't look much different because they're still relatively simplistic graphics, but just 30 frames animation versus 60 frames animation, it's you can tell, and that surprised me.
I can't think of one other than maybe a long time ago when I was a kid and played Mario All-Stars on the Super NES, playing the older games that were in 16-bit. When they updated then, I was like, oh, this is cool. So, but I can't think of anything right now. Yeah. I mean,
I do remember, like,
Outer Worlds look different, it was much better.
Maybe not the same thing, but I think in a similar vein was I remember picking Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis back in the day, even though I knew that it didn't look as good or sound as good.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had blood. But then the Super Nintendo version of Mortal Kombat 2, the training wheels came off, and it was the full game, and it was almost near the arcade experience. Of course, a little bit different, but I had to have that one as a kid. I really can't think of any other options or any other examples. He also asks us this: if Tim started Persona 5 Royal on October 21st, 2022, How many directs would Marty be disappointed with by the time he rolled credits? And
That's
seeing
a
his
lot.
speed on Breath of the Wild, I'm going to say at least 3 to 4.
There's a
Right.
lot packed into that statement.
Yeah. Great question.
It's a lot.
Andros from the Nintendo Pals said, I thought the mini direct was really nice, especially compared to previous partner showcases. Super great pacing, a lot of cool announcements. Nothing in particular stood out, but it just felt like a super quality presentation. I also kind of like Xenoblade getting its own presentation. It gave its own space for Xenoblade fans, while those not interested didn't have to watch. Yes. My question for y'all is, what upcoming games would you like to see get their own dedicated direct as Xenoblade 3 had? What say you guys?
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be all over that one. I'll soak it all up. For sure.
Here in the South, we say we'll sop it up with a biscuit.
Exactly. That's what I would do. Sop it up with a biscuit.
Okay. That sounds very carby.
We love carbs.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there's so many games we don't yet know that are coming that would probably be good answers to this, but we just don't know that they're
I'm going to say Splatoon 3. I think
Yeah.
we should get a good, beefy Splatoon 3 focus direct.
Yeah. And I'm sure we'll get one for Breath of the Wild too. So
Oh, yeah,
and I think that
definitely.
would be a great one too.
I really think that what we have to show and what we need to show it with Splatoon 3, what needs to go into that direct is what makes this so different from Splatoon 2.
Yes.
Like, you know, what is here to make you buy this other than they're going to turn the Splatoon 2 servers off eventually.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Why couldn't they just, yeah, that's a good point. Cause why did they have to stop 2? Why couldn't they just build on 2 and go forward on the same system? And why did they feel they had to stop and make a whole new third version? You know, what was
Yeah.
going
Why
on
could
there?
this not just be DLC, you know,
Yeah.
over and over?
Make another expansion or whatever, or yeah.
Personally, what I'm hoping for, and what I know a lot of people are too, is that there would be a more involved single player campaign.
Right.
You know, something having to do with why is there a wasteland now?
Yeah.
Why is it post-apocalyptic Splatoon? But who knows? That'll probably be DLC too.
Right.
Well, guys, that's all of our questions
Yeah,
for this week.
We got another one that's come in the chat.
Oh,
From
okay.
Venom NYC. Are the dads fans of Skate? Are you guys pumped for the new Skate game? I used to own a skateboard company and love Skate. Better than Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Well, and I think that's important, especially with Tony Hawk himself announcing that lately that there were remakes of 2 or 3 and 4 that were coming that have been now canceled. Any of you guys play Skate? I did not.
No, I mainly played the Tony Hawk games. I didn't play any of the other. It was Tony Hawk and the BMX games. That's what I mainly played. This one, no. But there are several other people in our community who are stoked for this game. So just because us dads aren't, you know, just as, you know, that's why there's other people in the community who are. So varying flavors of games that everybody likes. So just this particular group isn't into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we had some listeners who were really excited about Ollie Ollie and I think Ollie Ollie World, but I haven't heard.
I was excited for Ollie Ollie stuff for sure, and then the Ollie Ollie World came out too, and I was excited for that and Tony Hawk's games. But that's where the extent of my skating game experience came in. I didn't play Skate or willing to check.
I played
them
Tony
out,
Hawk 3 religiously on the GameCube. Like that was my jam. And I don't know why. Like I just got sucked in. But it was I did not play Skate.
Every now and then there's a game that you get into because you and your friends are into it, and or you're getting into it because it's just something about it that's very zen.
I think with Tony Hawk 3, it was that like there was so much buzz around it, like it being such a fantastic game. I was like,
Yeah.
I got to see. And it was simple enough that a non-skateboarder, like somebody who wasn't into that culture, it was easy enough that like I could pick it up, and the challenges made you want to keep going. And then there was a fact too in 3, you could unlock Darth Maul, and you could it was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
So
he says he highly recommends it if you're into Tony Hawk, and Skate 3 is on Game Pass.
All right.
cool. I have to check that out with my
Definitely.
Game Pass machine. Well, those are all our questions. Let's move into an update on our family of podcasts. Tim, take it away.
All right. So again, we have our family of podcasts, which consist of Game Pass news for our Xbox listeners, Dad's After Dark show for talk about things that we don't talk about here. So it's definitely for the older crowd, when your kids go to bed type of thing. So the Dad's After Dark show, and then Retro Logic for a lot of the retro people out there. That's where our Retro Rewind goes to whenever they do those. And also, although on hiatus, they have a Retro Groove podcast, which talks about a lot of music. So going back to Game Pass news, they recently dropped episode 59, and they titled it Cranky Kong Presents Game Pass News. And they talk about Game Pass news, shadow drops, where did all the fun go, demo day for Xbox, was there a miss in late June? And then they also go over a lot of things that came out this week for Game Pass. So check that out if you're got an Xbox and you're overwhelmed by everything that comes through Game Pass. These guys play it, and they'll let you know whether or not you should take the time to play it as well. Like I said,
Cool.
Dad's After Dark show, they do their stuff. Again, it's after the kids gone to bed, and you want to talk about things or listen to them talk about things that are a little bit more mature, go there. But they also talk about games. This particular recent drop was a special Nintendo Direct mini reaction. And they talk about Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak some more, Nier Automata to Switch, Persona 5 Royale to Switch, day and date, and Farming Sim worth RPGing over is a question they ask. So lots of good topics there. And again, Retro Logic covers a lot of the retro stuff, where episode 82 for Retro Logic is all about beat 'em ups. Episode 8 on Topic Retro, John talks with Chris HL and Wondrous Will about Bionic Commando. And again, Retro Groove, which is currently on hiatus for the summer. Their last episode was about their favorite albums that have sold 25 million copies. So great stuff.
Absolutely. Y'all go check out all those shows, Retro Logic, Dad's After Dark, Game Pass news, and of course, keep it right here as well as we move into the future. Guys, that's episode 382. We want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight. And a reminder that we want to thank our Patreon producers and all of our patrons as we close out the show. Dave Ernsberger, Solo Something, Alexander Ocampo, RJ Kern, Chad Benoist. Thank you guys for being Patreon producers in there at the $30 level. And thanks to everybody rocking it with us over on patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. Even just for $1 a month, you guys are so cared for and valued, and we're so thankful for you. We also want to say a huge thanks to our over 6,200 YouTube subscribers, over 1,300, almost 1,400 followers on Twitch. And thanks to the 41 of you Twitch subscribers who also get access to our Discord community and activities by throwing your Twitch Prime subscription toward us on a monthly basis. We really appreciate that as well. If you're an Amazon Prime member, remember you have a Twitch Prime subscription for free that you can give, and we would be honored to have that each and every month. Reminder to head over to manscaped.com, gooder.com, or Glitch Energy and use the code NINDADS, that's NINDADS, to get 20% off your Manscaped order, some percentage off your Gooder order, free shipping on all those places. They've got some great deals right now, guys, great products, so you go check that out. Be sure to check out our website, nintendodads.org, where you can find all kinds of videos, tweets, podcast episode, links, blogs, Extra Life, all kinds of stuff over there. And you can find us on social media. In most places, just type in Nintendo Dads. Boom, there we are. Email us at nintendodads@gmail.com or call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS. That's 929-256-3237. Big thanks to OC Remix for the music used throughout the show. And a reminder, wherever you listen to us, the audio version, go and give us a 5-star review and write some words that are nice and wonderful and help us look good and smell good to everybody who finds us, because it just pushes us on up, helps spread the message about Nintendo Dads. This has been episode 382. For me, for Tim, for Jesse. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Later, peeps.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
Well done. Here come the test results. You are a horrible person. That's what it says. A horrible person. We weren't even testing for that.